Alright, we're back in the shop today. I got a bit of kit from RZRWorks. They make a bracket to put the gold limited edition gated shifter that comes factory from Polaris in my RZR. And kind of just to give you an idea, it comes really nicely packaged. I got really quick shipping on this. I was pretty impressed with customer service. But basically, RZRWorks makes this bracket, which is really nicely made. You can kind of see there that basically it has the integrated threaded nuts into the bracket. He supplies this bracket, and he'll also supply all the associated parts. This is a Polaris part. There are several others. Basically a new shift gate or shifter knob, and this is actually the Polaris gate. Now I've already basically taken this and reverse engineered this plate, and basically what I've done is I've come up with a new design. I think I'm gonna have to trim out the bracket just a little bit. But this is designed to go from low to high. So this is the park area here. Most of the gates go from reverse, or I'm sorry, they go from reverse into low and stop. They have an additional gate area for high, so that if you're on a hill climb or something like that and you got to go in reverse real quick, it's easy, and to get back into low is easy. This gate actually goes reverse all the way to high. You'd have to find low. And what I've done is basically designed a part that I've been running that on the Excel mill. I basically need to do the other operation, and I'll be able to test that. But it looked fairly simple to do. The only thing is, I believe on the a little bit of this actually ends up getting cut out more, and it gets really close to the edge of the bracket. But I think I'll be able to clear it, make a little bit of clearance on the bracket, and still be able to fit it. But for today, we're going to install this. I'm going to use this till I get the other prototype done, and just see how I like it. It looks like a good bit of kit. Basically, you end up with a shifter that's got a little spherical move. Actually, it only moves in one axis. It moves up and down. And he includes I guess a custom spring here that'll actually force the gate, the shifter, up against this gate. Anyway, we're going to pull this off the RZR, the old parts, put the new parts on, and hopefully by the end of it I'll have a gated shifter on the RZR, which will be really great. Alright, this is going to be pretty tough to film, but I'm just going to go through a brief overview of how to get this off. This shift cover, the stock one, basically what you want to do is, I just went in with like a knife blade and basically come in this way and kind of pry upward. What's holding it on is this. It basically just fits down in there, press fit, and there's a Torx bit in the very top of the shifter that you can get this handle off by taking that Torx bit off. You'll still need to keep these parts. It does come with a new one of these. In my application, I'm probably either going to have to ignore this or make a new one if I CNC a different gate, but for now it'll work. And basically, you're basically going to take that off, and there's a pivot point. I think this has an E-clip on it. You just pull the E-clip off, save all the parts. You may need some of them later, and unscrew the shift cable. You'll need to take the stud off the shift cable and put it on off of the shifting rod assembly here, and put that on the new one. It doesn't come with one. But I'm going to get to that real quick, and I'll kind of try to film as much of it as I can as far as end result and showing you how to actually do it, but I can't really get the camera in here to film it as I do it. Okay, we've got the handle off, and basically it's a T25 bolt that goes right here that holds it on. Best way I found to get it off is actually shift the shifter where it's straight up and down. Just gently wiggle and pull at the same time. It'll pull up and off. This is the new shifter, and I'm going to install this on the new shifter. You'll want to get your boot and all your old parts off of your old shifter and just put it back on this shifter. Okay, the shifter's held on by a little E-clip, and you also want to basically take it, it's 13 millimeter. You want to unloosen that stud to pull that loose. Once you do that, you can get the old shifter out and assemble a new one. Okay, the first thing you want to put on the new shifter is this bearing guide, and this basically just slides up on here. It's kind of got little serrations in it, but I'm going to get this on. Slides on like so, and you actually want to slide it up into this area. This is what's going to ride against that gate. So I'll get this on, and then I'll get this mounted and get the handle and everything ready to go before we mount on the plate. Really tough to get that on, but basically you can slide it up. Just make sure you do that before you actually put the cable shaft assembly back on the end of this. You can't get it over it. Okay, now we're going to install the plate, and basically the way it works, there's two big large holes in the existing bracket that comes up for the shifter, and this has a large washer and a small washer. You want to make sure that you get that small washer in that hole, and that's kind of what gets everything aligned. I'm going to go ahead and install the bracket. Okay, we got the bracket installed, and it's pretty easy. These are the two bolts that are on the bracket. Just be mindful and keep your spring kind of out of the way. And this is where the bracket mounts, and it's really rugged. It's not going anywhere. We're going to go ahead and finish the next installation step. We're going to get the actual shifter, gated shifter, on there. And it looks like a fairly simple mount. We'll go ahead and get that on there and get the cable disconnected. One thing I'll note, it looks like in the instructions you want to rotate the direction of which side the cable actually goes on to the bottom of the shift lever. So it basically by default it's sticking out like this, and you're actually going to flip it all the way around, and that's in the instructions, and it's fairly easy to understand. Okay, we got the shifter in. Fairly simple install. We got the plate. There's a spring here. It's going to be really tough to see, but and I got this installed on top of the gear shift. The only thing is, this right here has a little bit of overhang. I don't know that I'm going to pop it out with my hand, but it's possible. It's slightly larger than the handle piece. But I've got it in there for now, and if I need to, if I have to, I'll glue it down in there. But other than that, everything worked out really well. It shifts really nice. I'm going to take it out in the yard here in a minute and just do a bunch of test shifts. But I've test shifted it several times, and it's spot on, gets into reverse without any issues, which is the most important thing. And like I say, I've got this reverse engineered, I guess, and I've got a little bit different gate pattern, which I think will work. Just in testing it here, just playing around with it, if there was a slot that basically locked you out, so basically you would come down and it would have a similar pattern offsetting the high, so that you couldn't go straight down into high. You'd either have to go left or right to get it into high, and that would be done on this end of the plate. And just kind of looking at it here, that's kind of what it's going to look like. One of the things I looked at, I may actually have to make the shift lever a little bit narrower, because that's a pretty steep angle, and you want a narrower slot. But if I have to do that, it's not a big deal. This is not really a linear pattern that's on this shift plate, which is why I expect probably people are having trouble making it. But anyway, I think that's probably the secret to this, is just maybe making a new plastic thing and maybe narrowing that down just a little bit. Anyway, I'm not sure that I'm even going to leave, if I make one, I'm not sure I'm going to leave it on there. I kind of like this pattern. It's not as critical that I can hit low as it is I can hit reverse. And on my machine, low is real easy to find. Reverse is not. So I think this solves the problem. But I'll probably end up machining that anyway, just as a fun project. But anyway, it's installed. Really nice product. I got this on the RZR forums from RZRWorks. I believe his name's Carl. If not, I apologize for getting your name wrong. But really quick shipping, great support. It came with a really good set of instructions. And I probably installed this in under 30 minutes. So just to kind of give you an idea of how big of a task this is. Pretty much it's just tightening up a few bolts. Anyway, I hope you like the videos. I'm going to get this together and we'll go out in the yard and I'll give it a quick test run. Okay, we're just going to give it a try real quick, test out the shifter. Hard. Nice smooth shifting action. Should be reversed. High. Low. Okay, so overall it works pretty good. Shifting action is really good. It's all basically stock Polaris parts except for that bracket. And that bracket's well engineered, well made. It's really easy to put on. One thing I'll say, normally what I do, I've got in a habit, especially low range. If I want to get into low, usually I'll go all the way down anyway and come up. I've caught myself doing that already on this shifter. So if you're looking for one of these, and you know you really want the reverse neutral low with a high lockout, just keep in mind it's really easy to still shift with this particular pattern, because really the main thing you're interested in is you have that positive stop on the neutral. Low isn't that hard to find. A worst case scenario, you can always use high. Again, I'll make the gate. I don't know that I'll stick with that. I'm pretty sure just looking at it in Fusion 360, I've got both parts meshing up. The actual width of that shifter is going to have to be reduced because it's at such a sharp angle. It's completely doable, but it's more parts, more money. And I'll probably send, when I prototype one out, I'll probably send one, a picture or something to the guy that makes the plates to see if he's interested in doing it. If that's the case, I won't be interested in doing it, simply because I don't want to have to modify this shifter rail. And I'm pretty happy with the way it is now. Anyway, hope you like the videos. I don't know of any other big projects coming up for the RZR. I think I'm pretty much ready for the season. I'm really happy with the spring upgrade. I'm happy with the lock bar roll bar mount. And everything's working really well. Really the only thing I need to do is wash it, and if Mother Nature will cooperate and warm up, I'll try to take care of that before I get out for the first time. That was not ideal. There was a lot of dirt and stuff still left on the machine where I've rode it this winter, and haven't been able to wash it. We've had, you know, below 20-degree temps at night for a lot of the winter, and I've actually got most of the water turned off down at the shop, especially the external connections. But anyway, hopefully we'll get past that and things will get warmed up. I'm hoping that riding season kind of starts up around end of March into April, and looking forward to it. Anyway, hope you like the videos. Please like and subscribe. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Again, this came from RZRWorks. I paid full retail in any of my videos. A lot of people have made comments. I just buy this stuff. I don't talk to them beforehand or anything. So this is more or less owner reviewed stuff. I bought it just like anybody else would and installed it. And I bought what I wanted to. They didn't just send it to me. So this is stuff that I've done research on and wanted to install. Anyway, hope you like the videos, and we'll see you on the next one.